of GT3 of January, the first one we make this year, 2026. And I'm going to tell you about everything about the protocol, right? Everything about how it's working, everything about the metrics we have got during the past weeks. I'm going to also answer the questions you make during the chat. And yes, I think we are going to stay just 40, 45 minutes talking about GT3. I think it's very important to understand today the purpose and the goal of GT3. I will be happy if after this AMA, you suddenly understand how deep is GT3 and how it's an excellent vehicle to help you to generate passive income. I think this is the best of the main value of all the webinar, right? To understand GT3 as a tool, as a vehicle to help you to generate passive income. And yes, I think the first thing I'm gonna show you is the DEX. Thank you, Belen, for helping me in the back office. And in GT3 Finance, you have the website, the landing page, and you have everything there about how it works, the main metrics, blah, blah, blah. Okay, we will talk about the metrics and the results of GT3 during the next minutes, right? But now I want to focus in this message, passive income. GT3 is a DEX absolutely different to the ones you can meet Uniswap, SushiSwap, QuickSwap, PancakeSwap, and so on. It's a DEX completely different because in the other DEXs you may use, you can earn money if you are a liquidity provider. If you provide liquidity to any pool, you can earn rewards based on the volume of each pool, and you can be rewarded if you are in V3, if you are inside the slot between the tokens are operating with, and if you are outside of this slot, or you are in other version of Uniswap, like V2, for example, you earn money all the time because you are all the time in the line, okay, of the liquidity pool. But this is the typical model you can earn money in a DEX. In GT3, of course, you have this model because you can add liquidity to any kind of pool. We have now these pools, and here you have the APR, okay? But you can also earn money in a different way. And as you can see here in this column, the VAPR is an extra reward you can get if you are also, or if you are a GT3 locker. I mean, this is the main difference of GT3 respect other DEXs. We have a functionality. We call it the voting system. And it's a functionality based on locking our utility token, which is the GT3. If you lock the GT3 in the way of X GT3, you get voting power. And if you vote for any pool, you get the reward pools, right? So you have two different revenue sources. The one coming from the liquidity pool, you are a liquidity provider, you provide liquidity, and you get this APR. And by another side, you can be also a GT3 locker, or you can be a GT3 locker and not an LP, and start to receive rewards based on this VPR, right? So this is something completely different of GT3 respect other DEXs. So here you can see, for example, I have clicked in vote and in voting, and you can see here that each epoch, we have epochs each month. 1 month is equal to one epoch. This epoch will finish, next 31, the last day of the month, will finish this epoch. And when I say we, I mean the GT3 lockers, we will receive around $88,000 of incentives and fees. This is incredible, okay? This is an extra reward we receive due to two different revenue sources. The fees that the different pools generate, and these fees are based on different tokens, as you can see here. For example, the pool CNKT Plus versus USDT generates fees in USDT and in CNKT. Okay, the pool of GT3 feed generates feeds based on GT3 and based also on feed token. And each pool generates fees, depending on the tokens. Okay, so you as a locker, if you vote for any of these pools, you start to receive fees plus incentives. The fees are generating inside pool, and because of any kind of swap, any moment you make a swap, you generate a fee of 0.30% who goes to a vault that after will be shared between the lockers. So the more volume we generate in the DEX, the more fees we capture in the pools, right? And the other revenue source is the incentives the different projects add to their pools to incentive lockers to vote for their pools. So adding the fees and adding the incentives, we are going to get this cycle, this epoch, this month of January, more than $88K. This is something crazy because this money in other DEXs are shared between the stakeholders of the company, right? So as GT3 is a decentralized company, okay, it's a decentralized protocol, we share this revenue between the GT3 lockers. So the more GT3 you generate in the way of XGT3, the more voting power you get. You can block until 2 years, and the more passive income you will get. So it's very easy at the end of the day to understand. GT3 is an excellent way to be able to generate passive income. How do I generate passive income? Blocking GT3. So the more GT3 I have, the more GT3 I lock, and the more time I lock it, the more voting power I get. This month, for example, that we are going to share like $88K, if I would have 10% of the voting power, okay, I will get around $8.7K. So this is crazy, guys. This is crazy. So it's an excellent way to receive passive income each month. I like also to compare GT3 like if it was a share of a company and I receive dividends every month. It's something similar. It's not the same because GT3 is not a company, okay? But the voting power and the quantity of GT3 I have blocked, it's like a share, okay? And this is a very special kind of share because I receive dividends, rewards every month. So let's think about how much money do we need today to receive the 10% of the passive income this month. If I want to receive the 10% of the passive income, I will need to have, let's see it. For example, I will click here in the token, okay? And I go directly to the contract. As you can see here, I go to view contract. So I click there, I go to Polygon scan, and you'll see now the token, okay? This is the GT3 token, okay? And we have today just only a few holders. Since the first day, we have only 1.2K holders. This is nothing. This is the beginning of everything in GT3, okay? The crypto market doesn't know still the project. So I go to holders. If I click here in holders and I see the first holder, okay, this is a contract. As you can see here, this is not an address, this is a contract. And if I click there, and if I click again in the contract, I will see this is the contract of GT3 stake it, right? You can see here. The GT3 stake it is the amount of money which is blocked in the way of GT3, right? So if I click here, I will see that 75 million of the GT3 is blocked today in the way of XGT3. So half of the total amount of GT3 that exists, which is 150 million tokens, are blocked. So if 100% of the GT3 is 75 million tokens, the 10% of the voting power is 7.5 million, right? If the token is today around 0.02, okay, 10.5 million tokens, 0.052 is around $160K. So if I would buy $160K dollars in GT3, I will get 10% of voting power. And this month, I will receive like $8.7K dollars. So this is very profitable model. So as you can notice in my example, the most important, for example, for me as a holder, I possibly am the first holder of the protocol because I'm the guy who more are compromised with the protocol. I have all my GT3 blocked. All my GT3 is blocked. The maximum amount of time, which is 2 years, because my goal is always to have the maximum voting power to be able to have to have and to get the maximum passive income. So in my strategy, it's never to sell GT3 because GT3 is the only key to generate passive income. So the thing I want most in life is to have the maximum amount possible of GT3, the maximum time locked, 2 years, to be able to have the maximum voting power to be able to get the maximum passive income, right? So for me, it's like to have the maximum amount of shares to get the maximum amount of dividends. I know I'm getting more money because of the rewards than because of the GT3 status, price, and so on. So it's very interesting from my point of view to understand the DEX, to understand GT3, not only as a DEX to swap tokens, but also as a vehicle to generate passive income. And the only way to do it is with GT3 locked, right? Okay, guys, there's something I want to show you before starting questions, and it's in DeFi JAMA. If you click on DeFi JAMA and you go here and you look, I'm going to click here in categories, right? I will scroll until DEXs and I will click on Polygon, right? And if I order the columns by revenue, maximum revenue in 7 days, you can notice here that GT3 is the second biggest DEX in Polygon today in generating revenues last 7 days. This is crazy because we are still a very small DEX with only $1 million of liquidity, TVL, okay? And we generate like an incredible, a crazy amount of money in revenues versus the TVL we have. Because, for example, QuickSwap, which is the first DEX in generating revenue, it generates only just like 4 times revenue than us, okay? We generate last 7 days $27K dollars and QuickSwap $96K, like 4 times, but they have 400 times the liquidity we have. So we are a very efficient protocol in the way of generating passive income. This passive income we generate these revenues, we share them with the holders, with the GT3 lockers, this is again something unique in the market, because last month, for example, since today is 28th, today's 28th of January, since 28th of December, just like here, okay, we have generated like 40K, 43K, 44K, $44K, okay, in fees and revenues. And there has been days like this one, the 22nd of January, where we generated $12,000 because we had a lot of volume. As you can see here in volume, last 22nd of January, we had more than $3 million in volume. I mean, people swapping tokens between pools. So it means that this day we generated $12,000 in revenues, and we share $10,000. 85% of this money is shared between GT3 lockers. 15% goes to the treasury vault, okay, to be able to invest and to grow. But 85% is shared between GT3 lockers. So this is something crazy, guys. We are proving with data, not with promises, okay, with data, than last, I will say, 3 months, because we started to operate outside our cave. I mean, with real outside tokens and outside pools. We started to operate at the end of November. I remember, the end of November. So in 3 months, or in 2-3 months, no more, 2-3 months, we have generated around 30K, $37 million of volume. And more than 248K transactions. And at the end of this month, I'm sure we will be over 200K fees protocol and around maybe 30K pure revenue protocol. So numbers are, I think, very good to start. We are a very, very baby protocol still. We have shared a lot of money between liquidity providers, more than $350K, and we have shared a lot of money also between GT3 lockers, more than $300K. We share this day, like you can see here, like $3K between GT3 lockers. So again, everything is around the GT3 lockers. Okay, the GT3 lockers are the party bosses, okay? They are the chiefs. And the more GT3 is locked, the more passive income you can get, right? Okay, guys. So I'm going to start with the questions. Belen sent me here because I cannot see the YouTube in direct. Okay? So, because of the delay, I mean. So I have, for example, first question is of Paul. Okay, Paul says, which upcoming roadmap milestones will have a direct impact on GT3 token utility, not just new features? Good question, Paul. Thank you. Okay, I invite you guys to go to the footer of GT3. Okay, in the footer, we have the medium. This is the third icon, the medium here. And in the medium, you can see all the publications we make from a strategy perspective. Last one, if at the end of is at the end of November 28th, as you can see here. Okay, and we describe here, main impact that will have the new utilities in GT3. And I will discuss just a few things that I think they are more important, right? And they are here at the end of the post. Okay, we are working today in the improving systems to be able to list any kind of token in a decentralized way. Okay, this is about the decentralized pool creation. Now, the only ones who can create a pool are us from GT3. Okay, with the decentralized process, anyone will be able to create any kind of pool. right? So we have to make a lot of things because we have to be connected to all oracles worldwide, and it's quite difficult, okay, to add this functionality. But I think it's really interesting. This functionality also is linked to the prior one, to the second one, unified liquidity routing, because we want to show users, no lockers or liquidity providers, users of the DEX. We want to show them the best prices for any kind of swap, independent on we can have the token or not. So we are unifying the liquidity routines to be able to share the best, always the best pricing tokens. Belen, yes, connect Chema, please. Chema I think is here. He was in other meeting with other people speaking about tokenization. Chema Atomic, how are you?
I'm good. Hello, everyone. How's it going?
Thank you for arriving, because I have been speaking alone last 20 minutes. And, I feel like a machine.
Yeah. I guess you were feeling quite alone, so no worries. I'm here, so we can carry on.
Okay,
I can help you with everything.
Okay, so just talk when you want. I was describing the main functionality of GT3 from the passive income perspective, how it works, how much money we are generating in this cycle, how it will be shared between the lockers, why it's so important to have the maximum quantity of GT3 locked, the maximum quantity of time to be able to have the maximum passive income, right? And I'm just starting to answer the questions. I was with the first one, okay? And resume it.
Miguel,
yes,
if you allow
Chema?
me, I would like to, reinforce the message in what you're saying. And I think it's very important for everyone to understand that this is not just a token, right? I think you've been talking about it, and I would like just to, reinforce this idea. Many people, and we know that because we have several discussions with people that is trying to understand how things works with GT3. It's very important for people to understand that this is not just a token that you buy and then you can see this with the fluctuation, with the ups and downs. It's not about that. It's in reality is a way to participate in a decentralized business. It is a way for anyone that have GT3 token locked to get the revenues of the whole protocol, of the whole platform. And the more we grow, the more money they will make, because there will be more money to be shared with everyone. And I think that number that you have shown, this over $300,000, for a protocol that is as small and as young as GT3, is a huge amount of money that shows. It's the perfect showcase that is presenting to everyone how much money this can generate. Because at the end of the day, it's all about utility and a place to do swaps, a place to participate in selecting which ones are the liquidity pools that are available. It's something very useful. And the way to enter into that, let's say, joint venture is to acquire the GT3 token. And this is something that is at the beginning is not very easy to understand, because I think many people has been everyone that has been in crypto for 3-4 years, they know that they can lose a lot of money, and they are always looking at the rug pulls. They are looking at the tokens that are going up and going down, and they are very worried about that. But it's not the way to understand GT3. If you have a GT3 token, it's like if you are having a share of a decentralized business.
Yeah, that's the point. The more GT3 you have, the more shares you virtually own, and the more dividends you will receive. So it's the way it's so useful and different. Let me show you just two things how important is to understand the volume and the meaning of GT3 as a DEX. Okay, the more volume we have. This is a weekly volume. The more volume we have, the more fees we generate, and the more money as a passive income we will get. Okay, speaking as a passive income generator, think about this metric because I didn't share it before, Chema. This is very interesting. This is in DeFi AMA, okay, GT3. And here, I don't know if you saw this, the earnings. I think this is something, this is the classical hockey stick of a startup, okay? This is real cash flow in green, okay? So we started the beta with just 2-3 pools in Q3 of 2024. We generate $2, nothing. We were testing, okay, in alpha and beta version, $26, nothing, but increasing from $2 to 26 is a lot, but nothing, I know, okay? $74, nothing, but again, 3 times, okay? 1,700, quite interesting, from $74 to just 2,000, $100K from 1,700, and only in the first 28 days of the quarter, we are just around 41K. Maybe when we finish January and when we finish the quarter, will be, I don't know, Chema, if we get more volume than before, 150K, 200K, and this is real fees and real cash flow. So you can see this is not something that is just now, in fashion, or we are just pumping the token, and after people are, selling the token, and it will go down. No, this is the classical hockey stick of a startup. And again, we have only 1 million in TVL. So the moment we have more pools, more volume, and more TVL, and more swaps, the fees will pump absolutely.
Yeah, and I think it is worth to explain one very important factor, right? There is a huge connection between the incremental volume in traffic in the GT3 DEX, so in the platform, with the growth in price of the GT3 token. What means? This means that the only metric that you guys should be looking at is how many swaps we are generating on the DEX. This is what is going to guide the price of the token up, right? If we manage to get more TVL, more total value locked, more pools, more swaps, more transactions, that will generate more fees. More fees will generate more money to the participants. And of course, people is very smart. When they see that they are making money with a very small investment, they will be coming buy the token. And there's more people coming and buying the token. The growth on the price is secured. That's the way this works. But that said, this is not, you don't need to be looking at the price of GT3 all the time, because you will be making passive income. What you need to look is how much is this growing in TVL. If we are going to grow in TVL, we are all going to make money as part of the community. That's the way this works. We are. I think it is worth to claim to the community for support. You guys need to help us. You need to be the voice of the community. You guys need to help us to reach a lot of people to come and do the swaps in your DEX. You need to help us to reach to the projects that are powerful and they have strong tokens, and tell them, hey guys, why don't you put your pool in this DEX? Because if we get that, we're gonna get TVL. If we get TVL, we're gonna get more revenues to share. If we get more revenues to share, we're gonna have a token that will be increasing in price.
Yeah, the most important is you said something very important, Chema, that if anyone who is listening us has access to any project, interested project in being listed in GT3, it's welcome, because and I'm answering now next question, because it's how does GT3 balance permissionless pool creation will protect the ecosystem from low quality or toxic pools? We don't mind the quality of the token on the pool. Uniswap doesn't mind what kind of tokens are listed. This is not a security token DEX marketplace where we have to filter the projects and KYC, AML. This is something decentralized. The main goal of GT3 is to have volume, is to have pools and to have tokens and to have TVL. We don't mind. We have to be like, asset tip guys, Chema, to abstract ourselves, our health about, the tokens we are listed, because really, we don't mind. We want volume. The more volume, the more swaps. The more swaps, the more fees. The more fees, the more passive income for everyone. So, guys, feel free to tell about GT3 to any kind of project. Anyone will be welcome. And we can help young projects, young tokens to get liquidity and to be recognized, to have a marketing powering tool inside GT3, because if any project has their own tokens, and if they incentivize their pools with money based on their own token, people will vote for them to get the money. And if they vote for them, the liquidity pool will get bigger APR. And with the bigger APR they get, the more volume they will get also in the liquidity pools. So, for example, why CNKT, is increasing value and the liquidity pool is growing and so on? Because the project is incentivizing this month with 2 million token that at the actual price is like $7.7K. And people are voting now, like just close to 40% of the total voting power is voting here because they want the money. It's normal. So we are helping this protocol, CNKT, to get liquidity, to get, purchases to their token, to their pool, to be recognized. So guys, if you know DeFi projects, they have a token, they are welcome to GT3. Please talk to us, talk to Chema, talk to me. We're pleased to have them here listed.
Yeah.
Okay, Chema, next question for you. Yeah?
Yeah, just one thing I would like to add on top of what you're saying. So this is an open protocol, right? So we believe that is the community who should be selecting which one of the protocols are the ones that should be, put on top, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay.
Can you guys hear me?
Good. Yes. Chema, I hear you. Yeah, you are mute now. You are mute. Okay. I will answer next question, or better, I will say to you, Chema, Robert says, I don't know if I'm sure to understand the question, but to what extent does GT3 rely on external incentives versus organic fee generation as the DEX grows? The question of Robert.
I think I understand it. I think it's worth to clarify where the money is coming from, right? So we said several times that the more swaps there is, the more money is to share with the holders of GT3 that have voted.
It's fees. Here, it's fees. Fees is the money that comes from the swaps.
Exactly. So there are two elements, two revenue streams that are coming to pay those lockers, those GT3 lockers. One part is coming from the fees. That means that every transaction that is done in the DEX generates fees that are split with the community, right? So it's the column of fees will be one revenue that will be shared. And the other element is the incentives. Incentives mean that let's say the proposer of the pool will have the capability to incentivize. That means give bribes to the members of the community of GT3 in order to have this pool to be on top in terms of the incentives that they provide. So they will be attracting more liquidity to be in this pool, and that will facilitate the swaps of this element. So as Miguel, you were explaining, this is an open protocol. We allow anyone to list their token. We encourage anyone that has a token to come and provide liquidity and get liquidity out of the community and the members of the GT3 liquidity providers and the GT3 lockers, right? We encourage them to reach out and get to us and create a listing on the token, right? And this is the second revenue stream that comes, these incentives that are also shared with the GT3 lockers.
Yeah, it's important also to add, Chema, well said, that there is a direct link also between the voting power that receives any pool and the APR that the liquidity providers will get. So the more voting power a pool gets, the more APR they will get in the next cycle, right? So, for example, if here we have the APR, this is a liquidity provider APR that gets adding liquidity to any pool. This is the VAPR. I mean, as we said before, the return that a locker will get if it were also a GT3 locker, okay? And the liquidity providers, they get the rewards in GT3 tokens. So it's very interesting, the model, because the more people discover GT3, the more purchases they make of GT3 to be able to get voting power, to be able to get passive income, right? And it means that token price will increase. The more the GT3 price increases, the more APR increases also to liquidity providers because they get the rewards in GT3 tokens. So it's like a viral loop we are starting with. It's only just 2-3 months of way we have of operation outside the beta the beta status we were during the last year, and I think it's quite interesting. So everything is connected, right? Okay, yeah. Next question, Chema. Ethan says, in which scenarios, I will answer this question very quickly, and I will pass you the next one. In which scenarios could locking GT3 become less optimal, and how can a user identify that in time? From my personal perspective, it's never a bad choice to lock the GT3. Never, ever. Because it's the only way to generate passive income. And as you said before, Chema, it doesn't mind for a GT3 locker the GT3 price. Okay, the less the price is, the easiest is to buy new tokens, but it doesn't mind. The only thing I'm focused is in to get the more money, the more quantity of GT3 to lock the more period of time to get the more voting power to be able to get the more passive income. So for me, the best choice will be always to have the GT3 locked the maximum amount of time.
Well, definitely. I think that comes naturally in the moment you understand all the things that we're trying to explain, right? Once you understand that this is not just a token, it's a participation in a business, you stop looking at the price because it doesn't matter in the way that, of course, it matters, right? Like it's better for everyone if we have something that is more valuable, but that doesn't matter that you're going to make more money, right? Actually, if the price decrease is a buying opportunity for you because you can acquire cheaper stake on the business, right? That's the way you need to look at it, right? Maybe it sounds like something like too good to be true, right? But it is the reality, right? If you buy stake now at this price, and tomorrow the price of the GT3 increases, that means that it will cost you more to get the same stake as today, tomorrow, right? In the other direction, if it goes down, then that means that you have the opportunity to buy cheaper stake on the business, in this decentralized business, right? So that's the way, that's the way you can look at GT3 in a healthy way. Of course, there are people that will be just speculating because it's the normal thing in crypto. People speculate, buy one token, then sell it, and I'm very happy now because I made 10% uplift. Fine. But this is not the game. This is not the kind of people that we're trying to attract. We're trying to attract people that understands the model of the DEX, that understands that this is a community project, that is a decentralized project that is for the community, and 80% of the revenues of the platform will go to the GT3 lockers. What is a GT3 locker? Again, is somebody that has acquired GT3 and have put it on a stake, and then in their wallet they have the X GT3 token. That means your position in the business as revenue receiver, right?
Yeah. Okay, last question, Chema. Last question, because we don't have more time. We have other meeting right now, and it's for a beginner. I think it's a good question, and again, I think it's for you. Ruben says, what metrics should a beginner watch to know if GT3 is actually growing in a healthy way?
Well, I think we said that already. TVL is definitely the one that you need to look at it, right? TVL means total value locked, is the amount of, let's say, value in dollars of the tokens that are available in terms of pools, because it's a place for people to swap, is how many, what is the deep liquidity available on the market. And this will be, that will be the main effort that, from the marketing and business perspective, that the biggest effort that we're going to do now is essentially getting more projects to be listed in the DEX, right, in GT3, more tokens to be listed there, more pools, and attracting more liquidity, essentially, right? So we need to increase in 3 ways: more projects, more liquidity, and definitely more users, right? And that's why we're talking. And I guess you talk about the roadmap and the things that we're gonna put on the DEX.
Yeah, by last, I will add here as a key metric is the ones about the money. It's always a very simple metric to understand. The money the GT3 lockers get, the money the revenue gets, and the money, the total money, which is the sum of this and this one, that the protocol, the GT3 DEX generates. So these metrics are updated at the end of each cycle. I mean, once per month. We will see the 1st of February how is increasing, but this is the real metric. So this is like a company who generates cash flow. If you see that every month cash flow is increasing, is that the model, the business model is working. So yeah.
And following that question, which I believe it is a good one, I think it's worth for you guys to check on something external to GT3, right? Which is DeFi Llama. If you go to DeFi Llama, the site that you showed before, you can see in there the metrics that are not in our site. So you can see the metrics that are available there. And it's like a third party that is not connected to us, right? So it's something that is very interesting. And I think you mentioned that already. You see GT3 as number 2 on Polygon.
We mentioned at the beginning. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, okay, guys. So finishing, I will say, please study the protocol. You have the white paper in the section of more docs. You have here the white paper. Please read it. Ask questions in the Telegram channel. You have the access of the Telegram in the future also here. It is. Please come to Telegram. Attract people to the protocol. Try to talk about GT3 outside here and understand the protocol as an excellent way to generate passive income every month. So this is not just a token. This is something similar to a share of a company, of a business. So I think it's a good way to understand GT3, Chema.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think this needs to be understood as your project. This is a community project, so you need to act as a group of people that is an owner of a business who is talking better about your own business. And this is your
Yeah.
business. It's built for you. It's built for you guys to participate. It's built for you guys to profit, right? So, I mean, everything is public. Everything is open source. All the information is available on the white paper. All the source code is available on the repos, so you can check all those fronts, right, to be confident on what is built on top of it. And I think that the one that shows better the spirit of this project is to see the amount of money that is being shared with the community. Every token holder receives part of the revenue of this decentralized business. So it's your business. Help us, help yourself, get more people to use it, get more people to onboard new projects. We try to also compensate. We have programs to help you guys to compensate people that is bringing us business in terms of new tokens. So, reach us on the Telegram group. We're always available. We're always happy to share what we are doing. And let's go for it, guys.
Yeah. And we'll see you again in February in another direct of GT3, and we'll talk to you about how it's working next month. So thank you very much, guys. A pleasure to stay here with you, and see you in the networks. Bye-bye.